Comedy drama, also known as dramedy, is a subgenre in contemporary forms of tragicomedy, especially in television, that combines elements of comedy and drama. History: early television, the advent of radio drama, cinema, and in particular television created greater pressure in marketing to clearly define a product as either comedy or drama. While in live theatre the difference became less and less significant, in mass media comedy and drama were clearly divided. Comedies were expected to keep a consistently light tone and not challenge the viewer by introducing more serious content. By the early 1960s, television companies commonly presented half-hour-long comedy series or hour-long dramas. Half-hour series were mostly restricted to situation comedy or family comedy and were usually aired with either a live or overdubbed laugh track. One-hour dramas included such shows as police and detective series, westerns, science fiction, and serialized primetime soap operas. Arguably, one of the first American television shows to successfully blend elements of comedy and drama together was Jackie Cooper's military-themed series Hansie. Although the show featured a laugh track, it also contains many elements of character drama that occurred amongst the recurring characters and the guest stars. The laugh track wasn't excessively used in each episode. By the third season, it was eliminated completely from the series. While sitcoms would occasionally balance their humor with more dramatic and humanistic moments, these remained the exception to the rule as the 1960s progressed. Beginning around 1969 in the U.S., however, there was a brief spate of half-hour shows that purposely alternated between comedy and drama and aired without a laugh track, as well as some hour-long shows such as Chips in the late 70s to early 80s. These were known as comedy dramas. Another example was The Days and Nights of Molly Dodd, which aired from 1987 to 1991. In fact, the term dramedy was coined to describe the late 80s wave of shows, including Hooperman, Frank's Place, and Doogie Howser, M.D. These early shows influenced how general TV comedies and series were developed. They often included brief dramatic interludes and more serious subject matter. An example of a successful comedy-drama series that distinguished this genre in television was the series Moonlighting. It generated critical acclaim and was a highly rated series worldwide. Another example of a successful comedy drama was the television series 8 is Enough. The show was distinct, because it was not a comedy drama in the traditional sense. It was an hour-long series that utilized a laugh track, which was very unusual, but is considered a comedy drama for the fact that it alternated between drama and comedy. In the United Kingdom, the format first appeared successfully in 1979 with the long-running series Minder, along with other notable comedy dramas such as Off Wid a Cian, Pet and Big Deal. In addition, comedy drama series have been associated with the single-camera production format. Attributes of comedy dramas on TV sitcoms: in a comedy drama, there is often an absence of a pre-recorded laughing track. Episodes can be either half an hour or an hour long. However, shows that use a 30-minute format tend to be more comedic with dramatic elements that keep storylines going forward, while shows that use a 60-minute format tend to be more dramatically based with humor used throughout the show either as comic relief or to punctuate certain scenes. Storylines tend to be more serialized in comedy dramas, with events taking place in earlier episodes being referred to or having an effect in later episodes. This can be compared to more traditional sitcoms, which focus on telling one stand-alone story every week. The continuity of character development and storylines are more relevant in comedy dramas than in traditional sitcoms. Characters' backstories tend to have a greater overall effect on storyline. Something a character has done in the past will often catch up with him or her, as opposed to more traditional sitcoms, where a character's backstory is unlikely to be referenced by the story of the week. Notable comedy dramas: television, Adventure Time, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Boston Legal, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Danny Phantom, Desperate Housewives, Devious Maids, DreamWorks Dragons, Firefly, Freaks and Geeks, Fresh Meat, Girlfriends, Girls, Glee, Gravity Falls, Grey's Anatomy, Louie, MASH, Maude, Misfits, Moesha, Monk, Moral Oral, NYPD Blue, Nurse Jackie, Offspring, Once Upon a Time, Orange is the New Black, Poker Copyright Mon, Psych, Red Band Society, Rock and Chips, Shameless/Shameless, 6 Feet Under, Sports Night, Teen Wolf, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Boondocks, The Game, The Legend of Korra, Trailer Park Boys, Ugly Betty. United States of Tara, Winx Club, Zoe 101, Films, Alice in Wonderland, Forever Love, Harry Potter, Marvel Films, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, The Truman Show, The Best Man Holiday, The Mighty, Perfect Beyond, Stepmom, Spanglish, The Fighting Temptations, Rumor Has It. The Royal Tenenbaums, Life, Stranger Than Fiction, Dan in Real Life, Animated, The Croods, How to Train Your Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Kung Fu Panda 2, Lilo and Stitch, Brave, Rango, Finding Nemo, Wall-E, Up a Christmas Carol, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Aladdin, Mulan 2, The Lion King, Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, Leroy and Stitch, Pocahontas, Epic, The Rugrats Movie, Rugrats in Paris the Movie, The Wild Thornberrys Movie, Rugrats Go Wild, Brother Bear, Tarzan, Beauty and the Beast, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See also, Black Comedy. List of comedy drama television series, melodrama, seriousness, tragicomedy, references, notes.